Good morning, afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentle people. We are here for a late Australian evening, even later for those playing in New Zealand. Whew, I feel sorry for you, it's 11:30 there. Actually, no, it's later, it's past midnight in New Zealand. But we are back for the Valorant Oceanic Tour, Stage 3, Open Qualifier 1. We are here for the quarterfinals. Tonight, we have Orgless versus Mindfreak. Both these teams just went through the absolute mud. They made the run across the swamp, they fought up a hill, and then they destroyed the dragons at their respective caves. They both went into a best of 3 series matches, and they were close. And, well, there might have been a little bit of an upset, but our teams are currently picking banned and picking at the moment. So while they go through that, let's get a little bit of a discussion into our teams. So Orgless, they aren't, well, at least the information I can gather, they haven't been around or established as some other teams. They played in our stage 2 of the Valorant Oceanic Tour, and in the Open Qualifiers 1, they got knocked out by Mindfreak in round of 16. They couldn't even get to the qualifiers because Mindfreak took them out. Then they attempted to break the mold again by playing in the stage 2 Open Qualifier 2, but once again they got taken out, but this time by Frat Frogs early on. Ooh, I'm just chatting to one of the players. I'll continue on my little spiel in a second. Yes, so they got taken out by Frat Frogs. I'm just getting communication with teams, hopefully be in a lobby shortly. But this time, they've made their way to the quarterfinals here in the Valorant Oceanic Tour Stage 1 Open Qualifiers 1. Oh, sorry, Stage 3 Open Qualifiers 1. They're an unbelievable showing against Nebula. Unfortunately, that match wasn't streamed, but the statistics I could grab from it was ridiculous. There was a 13-11 on Haven, which they won. Then they lost 5-13 on Split. Now keep in mind Split, we want to get back to that. So just once again, still chatting to the players so we can get in on the... So, we might be in a lobby in a second, just waiting for the invite. So, keep in mind Split. But then they came back for an overtime victory, 14-12 on Icebox. It was a ridiculous series. I was waiting in anticipation the entire time for that game to finish because I wanted to know who won. I wish it was streamed. I wish I could have watched it live. But now we get to see them up against Mindfreak, who we know has taken them out before and are wanting to do it again. Mindfreak are very strong in the Oceanic region. How strong, you say? Well, in the Oceanic region, they have won, at least recorded, 46 wins and 29 losses in high tier Valorant matches. So that is a huge, that's a statistic you want. That's a lot of wins. In stage 1 Open Qualifiers 1, they managed to finish 3rd to secure their spot in the closed qualifiers, which unfortunately they then got taken out by the big stars over in the NA now, Sonics, which were our homeboys. Now they've moved over there. This left them the fight for 3rd and 4th, but they allowed to qualify to the finals, where they took down Direwolves and Sots and went up against Order. Unfortunately, they took them to the best of 5, but they fell down to Order, finishing 2nd in our Stage 1 finals, which gives them a lot of Valorant points towards making their way into the OCE Championships. Stage 2, they did much the same, taking down opponents left, right, and center, until they came up against Order again, who once again stopped Mindfreaks and took them out and about. However, they were still able to qualify for closed, and they were able to make it through into the finals. In the finals, they cleared their first opponents, which was Sots, so straight out of the zoo, getting some bad rep here, but they're a great team. Once again, cleared them up in the finals, and then got taken out by Order again. So Mindfreak are wanting to progress in this tournament so they can meet up with Order to get that vengeance rematch. These two teams are kind of at ends meet when it comes to Mindfreak and Order. So they did end up securing 5th in the stage 2 finals, getting 30 Valorant points. So I believe that puts them in the top 3 or top 4 of teams. So they've pretty much secured their spot in the OCE championships at this stage. At the moment, they're just playing for more points to make sure that some upset doesn't happen and knocks them out of the playing field. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get chatting about map statistics. So, we will be playing for our first map because the picks and bans have just come in. Hopefully I'm not muted. No, I'm not muted. So, with the picks and bans are coming in, our first map that got banned was Ascent. We're not seeing Ascent tonight, which I'm quite happy with. I'm over Ascent. Then we got Mindfreaks. They took out Icebox. A little sad. I'm okay with that. But what do we have tonight? We have ourselves a Breeze. Yes, I am so ecstatic for a Breeze. Even though it's late, this Breeze match is going to wake me up. I've been looking forward to a Breeze for so long. So, Orgless picks up the Breeze and we'll have Mindfreak on defense. Then after that, we'll be going to Haven as Mindfreak picks up Haven. And then finally, if we get to it, we'll be moving over to Bind. The statistics so far is, well, there's only one team that's played Mindfreak. On Breeze, and that's Mindfreak. They had a single game. Most teams ban this out and just get completely rid of it. But here, we're going to be able to see that match, and Mindfreak, they had 100% victory on this map. Some good stats there. So, could we be seeing an easy victory for Mindfreak on this map coming up? But then we have a look over at Haven. Orgless, they have done pretty well on Haven. They're at 50%. They've only got 4 games recorded, according to the tracking for Oceanic Pro matches. So, either way, they're not too bad on it. 50% is good. You win half, you lose half, away you go. However, you look to the side of Mindfreak though, they've got a 60% win rate and they've got 43 recorded matches in the pro scene on Haven. That is a lot of matches underneath their belt. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. So, they're going to be prepared for Haven and to ready to go up against their opponents. And then finally coming over to Bind, well, once again, Orgless, this would be one of their more successful maps when we come over to the Bind. Up against Mindfreak, however, well, Bind's only 57%, which is one on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of Mindfreak's wins and losses when it comes to the professional scene. So, with that statistics out of the way, a little introduction to the teams. Welcome, I hope you will enjoy this stream. I am going to guess by game 2, potentially game 3, because I'm going to assume this game's going to go to game 3. I'm going to lose my voice, so I apologize now. It is 10:15. It is starting to get a little bit late here, and I am a play-by-play hypecaster, so I tend to talk way too loud. So, welcome. Teams are still getting prepared. They're having a little bit of a break from their recent matches. Both their games went up to the 3rd series. Both of them went for over 2 hours. That is a tough series to have to deal with. Then coming into playing late. So, we might start to see some fatigue setting in a lot of these players and these teams. Communication might fall down. Their skill might go off a cliff. Who knows? But all I know is, we're playing on Breeze. I am so happy for Breeze, and I cannot wait for it. So stay with me, and we will have a game very shortly for you. Looks like we are almost there. Yes, sorry. Just reading the chat in the lobby. We are almost there. We're very close to getting this game underway, so stick with me a little bit longer. We got 1 player left to get in this lobby, and then we will be covering all this action with you. Actually, I'm going to have a little look at our... There is a bracket. Have these been updated? Oh, we've got some of our brackets updated. So let's actually swing you over there. Let's have a little look. If I can get that capturing for us. There we go. So this is how our brackets currently look. We got straight out of the zoo and order. I believe that is being I think that might be being casted by Digital. That's going to be a great match that's currently going on there. Next one up is Peace and Team Bliss. These two are ridiculous teams. I believe Peace may have won our last finals, and Bliss came close. I was actually looking at this very recently. Unfortunately, I don't have the tournament screen open anymore, but Peace and Team Bliss are some top tier teams in the Oceania region. That game is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to find out the results of that. Here we have Mindfreak and Orgless, and finally Wildcard Gaming will be going up against whoever the winner of Villains Esports and Dire Esports is. That hasn't been submitted yet, so there must be still an epic match going on there. Switch the scenes back around. So, what is everyone competing for? Everyone was trying to compete to get those Valorant points. As I mentioned, Nebula has secured... Sorry, not Nebula. Mindfreak has secured themselves a fair bit of points already in this tournament. So, what your aim is to do is make your way through the open qualifiers, which we're in at the moment. Make your way through the closed qualifiers, the next stage in your conquest, to get into the finals. The finals is where you will develop and grab all the points you require to secure yourself into the Covenant Valorant Oceania Tour. So only 8 teams will progress to get into that Oceania Valorant tournament. Through there, the teams will fight it out, the best teams in Oceania, to become the number 1 and number 2 teams to have a chance at the OC and NA Champions tournament. This will then push you into... Oh, the teams are ready. Oh, yes. Oh, wait, no. We have Mindfreak on defenders. Oh, no, I haven't adjusted my overlays. Ah. Oh, no. Mindfreak. Oh, no. They caught me off guard. Oh, I'm so sorry about this, everyone. I'm just going to quickly have to change our overlays over, because the teams caught me off guard. They said 5 minutes, but they started right away. There we have our overlay up, and let's just swing that across. But yes, they're playing for the chance to make it into the NA OCE last chance playoffs, and if they can secure themselves a spot there, they can make it to the Valorant Championship tournament. So, we're here, we're on Breeze, and I am absolutely excited. You can't believe how happy I am to finally see a Breeze. Breeze is a map that everyone bans. They completely throw away because they don't want to deal with it, because people don't have strats on this map yet. They've barely scrimmed on it because they're usually too busy trying to work on other maps, and it's only just got released into the pool. Now we get to see it. We get to see if these teams, how well they've been playing for it, how well they're prepared. They were chatting in the lobby a little bit earlier saying, you know what, we don't have a lot of preparation on this map. Both teams were saying, hey, what are we going to do? So this is going to be a lot of on-the-fly thinking coming out from both these teams, from both Mindfreak and Orgless, to see how are they going to adapt to the ever-changing environment. Breeze is a large map. So, with a large map, you see 2 Vipers. That's it. This is where Viper is going to shine, and it really showcases her potential, because she's going to be one of the only characters that provides a lot of cover when you enter these sites, especially A and the B site. You get that toxic wall down, you're going to be able to zone out a lot of these angles and kind of reduce the kill potential from the opponents. Oh man, whew, we're in a game. I'm happy. It is late, but stick with me everyone. We're in for a good series between these two teams. So, as we can have a look here, we can see that Viper is already preparing to zone off the A site. You got to be able to block it off between the pyramids. When you can get that set up, it allows you that free form rotation, especially with how large the plant site is on towards the pyramids at A site. So now they're starting to make a lot of movement. They're starting to get a lot of knowledge, especially with that trailblazer, and they're going to come in and punish that. Cream gets an easy first kill. Scroll's going to shut down any potential that they're going to get with that spike. They can't do anything about it. You've got the rotation coming from Nameless as he sneaks up the back. He's going to be meeting Nameless. Doesn't quite do it. Pex completely cleans it up. Remaining. Now we're going to see Cream fall down, and our Toxic is the last one left, and they're just going to swing and kill him. Scroll holding down that site as if his life depended on it, and he helps pick up the round for Mindfreak. Move into round number 2, and we can already see the chaos. It's one round, and it's already, the executions are very hard for the retakes. It felt like there was not really a retake execution, more so kind of an aim battle where Scroll was just finding kill after kill because he was just in the appropriate position.
Toxins going up.
So Ferg's going to use this to cut off the entire map as Pex pushes down in. He's going to start burning them, but he can't find the kills. This is a free weapon over towards Cream. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of HP to deal with it, but they're going to be trying to find whatever they can as Norson now completes the angle down towards where those tunnels were. They're just going to back off. They're still playing for room. Zen's going to get spotted out from that turret, shooting over from A site. And that's such a pain in the butt turret to deal with because that can block the double doors and also grab anyone on site that's trying to go plant in the default at A site. And Ferg and Norson, they've now started the hunt. They're looking. Cream is going to be the one that sits back here and waits for the attack. He gets one beautiful shot. He tries to switch, but it does not help him out in that instance. So it's a 1-for-1 trade as now both the Vipers are going to be meeting face to face. Ferg swings on in, but he doesn't see anything, but he sees the other Viper and somehow gets the kill. He doesn't deserve to live there, but he gets away and he will take it nevertheless. As now Scroll and Watt are now looking for the opponents on site, and they're not going to be expecting the wraparound coming in from Zen. Zenix gets the kill with the Sheriff to the back. Scroll still trying to find one, but he's getting shot from every direction, and this is one of the hardest things to deal with. Breeze offers so many locations you can peek out from. You can pop up downstairs, so you're not only playing with a little bit of verticality and you're trying to keep that headshot range, but there's so many open angles on these sites that if you don't move in with 2 or 3 people, there's no way you can cover all these. Most other sites in other maps at least give you the capability to selectively or periodically move between the locations that enemies could be hiding in. Breeze, it doesn't give you that because there's just so many angles to deal with and you can't lock them all down. So now we're going to be seeing a default split come up from Orgless as they try and find any little picks across the map. And they're happy to take these one-on-one engagements. Great flash comes out, but Cream was there, but instantly turned around on, so it's 1-for-1 trade, and Scroll managed to find the kill down the hall. Just gonna shut down any aggression coming there, and Watt's also got a Marshall. There's a lot of Marshall love going on here. Scroll is taking a very advantageous position. I don't think Nameless is going to be suspected of this as he comes on up and Scroll finds himself a Vandal. Both players were after that high valued weapon and Scroll comes out the victor. Now there's 4 versus 2 with Orgless on the back foot here. They do have 2 Phantoms to play with. But Watt's got a Marshall. He does a nice little dink. He gets the second one. He's taking a little bit of damage. It's going to come down to who fires first and what does. As now Scroll cleans up the round and we see 2 points going in favor of Mindfreak. So that round, we saw the kind of chaos as this map presents you. There's so many ways to move about, and you don't really see teams try and take mid control too often. In fact, I don't really remember anyone. Once again, please note my spectator camera is bugged. No one generally tries to vie for this middle location. It's pretty much,
get out of my way.
It's heathen. It is territory you don't want to step foot in. It's corrupted. Now Ferg's going to be trying to create a lot of distraction and Pex is there to be able to defend and deflect the pressure of his teammates. This is kind of completely put Orgless on the back foot. Their aggression is no longer paid off. They're going to have to play it slow and try and find for a pick. And Aaron's kind of looking for that down the middle. And great little pick off in the middle of the site. But Pex is still here on the side. And they're going to have to check these corners. But they don't check it. But Toxic gets a beautiful shot, but instantly traded out. But now they have a free site with the Viper wall blocking off those choke lines. So they might look at throwing that up and getting that bomb plant down. Actually, never mind. The Viper is dead. Beautiful shot from Scroll, being able to pick up one. And this is going to create them to draw their attention over towards Defender's Archers. And this might allow these final two to come on through. And he also gets the one. He can't find the second one though. It's up to Nameless, who's been hit by the paranoia and is struggling. And what will clean up that kill? We move to a 3-1 scoreline for Mindfreaks here. And the economy is now hurting on Orgless. They're going to have to go for a potential light buy here or a partial buy. Depends what they want to. Nameless looks like he wants to pick it up. So are they going to go full out on this? There's a little bit of discussions going on here. And it looks like they've kind of gone against it. Nameless has been given the call to ease off there, Sunny Jim. We've got another round. We'll just save up and see what we can get. What value we can take out of our opponents.
I will be the night.
And once again, we're going to see that middle of the map just completely abandoned. I really like the style that Mindfreak is doing. Oh, Jesus, we missed a shot. My apologies. Ooh, almost the counter shot that Marshall, but he really went up against that operator. Oh, it takes a nice shot, and then they finish him off. The operator is now on the ground, and Toxic's going to take it. He's going to peek around the corner. He sees an arm. He's going to have to quickly retreat, but he had two choices: get hit by a spray of bullets or fall into the Nano Swarm, and ends up just going down anyway. So it's 3 versus 2. They're still trying to fight for the site.
Last player standing.
And Nameless will end up going down, and a great paranoia again by Watts, creating chaos for the opponents, and he just burns. He gets completely shattered and taken down around sight. And that is 4 rounds up for Mindfreak, as Orgless are starting to look a little bit rough, a little bit shaky. But remember, Breeze is a map people don't practice on. Josh, I apologize for Nightbot. I'm just letting you know now. You're going to see this in a couple minutes, but I'll let you know now. If you are not a regular, Nightbot takes you down hard. I don't really know what Nightbot's regularity is, but once you become a regular, you can post as many symbols and smileys as possible.
Come on, let's go.
But in the meanwhile, here we are in round 6. And actually, see, we've got a little bit of movement coming up and instantly shut down. So the first time there's any kind of action towards the middle, it's completely taken down by Norson. But actually, Tox is able to clear up a little bit more. He decides to wrap and rotate around as they decide that which will be the next course of action. Norson almost already had Jet's line of sight already prepared, but he's going to relocate back down to A as the Astral Star goes on off, just creating a little bit of a, hey, we might be going this way, trying to play with their opponents. And now you can see that they've already started to wrap, but this is already prepared by Scroll. He's got all the utility that he requires down here. As they're going to start pushing on in, the alarm bot goes down, the 2 nanoswarms is there so the rotations can come on in. Norson's got a great little peek, but that wall is up. We mentioned how valuable that Viper's wall is. And now the pit is also up, but that doesn't help Cream. Cream's still going to go down. Norson goes on in with the daggers, finds 2 with Scroll to find the final. Beautiful work there by Mindfreak. They just completely hammered Orgless from every direction. When suddenly Toxic had that Viper's pit up and running, had the capability to be like, okay, we now have a controlled environment. They have to secure us and fight us within our own terms. Mindfreak said sure, and they took them on and just chased them to the ends of the earth and took them out and won it. And that was all set up thanks to Scroll being able to delay that push. It allowed everyone else to come in and help them out. So I don't think they're going to see the information of what here, but they are going to check it anyway. He's going to go down, the Cosmic Divide comes on up, and this is going to give them a lot of information. So now the Seekers are going to come out. If they do know one's at the back side, they can now know there's at least 2 towards the double doors.
Spike
So we
planted.
see Mindfreak, they're getting into position. Orgless are now standing back for the long rotation and preparing for the post plant. And that was very, very close to being deadly and a mistake as the wall goes on down. Norse is still trying to find anything as they're firing through the smoke, trying to get any damage. And Aaron pops out, completely catching them off guard. And we're going to see Norsen. He's trapped. He's stuck. He can't get out. And he finally falls under the pressure that Orgless had put upon him. That black hole ruined the life of Norsen. But jeez, look at Scroll, 11 for 2. He is holding strong in this match. And one of it, and it's not just his kills. He's able to use his utility wisely to help slow down these pushes.
Here.
And we got a little bit of an interesting location this time for the wall. The wall's going to be looking at locking down any vision coming in from
Toxins going up.
the A site down into middle. And we're going to see the Viper's Pit's going to come out, try and slow down A, but it doesn't get the entire site. Norsen's trying to understand where those shots came from to try and back up his teammate. There's a lot of noise coming on. He hears the dog, but he's going to narrowly avoid it. Toxic is not going to be able to find Scroll, as Scroll is happily going to take that kill over and over again. Scroll's definitely not one you want to meet down in a dark alley. Because that twinkle of light is the scope as it aims at your face and takes you out. Now it's a 4 versus 4. Mindfreak have split up their pressure, leaving that mid free. They're happy to give that location up and continue to play these choke points coming down from the standard areas. So that kind of leaves us. What is Orgless got to do and what opportunity they want to use with this extra map? The turret's going to find them and the orb's going to go up. That instantly shuts him down, and then the lockdown's going to be used in case anyone was coming from behind. The Hunter's Fury's going to go off. He's going to miss Scroll for the second shot, so Scroll's going to get away to the victory, and they're going to quickly rotate 5. This leaves Norsen left to try and find a weapon. He does get one, but he's got 10 HP. He's left to find it. He's throwing as many cloud bursts down as he can, and he finally gets taken down, and now this leaves what? Be all sneaky, peeky like. And he gets one shot, he gets 2, but he finally gets turned around. But that's exactly what they needed to be able to turn this back around. Is there enough time to get this? There's just, but now Xenix is up all alone. He pops around the corner, he's vulnerable, he's taking a lot of damage. He peeks to the left, but Ferg gets him before he can line up the shots. And Ferg is happy. You can see it in his face. A little bit of time, playing around a bit. He finds the operator and now he's going to go defuse. It's going to put him another charge towards his ultimate. 1, 2, 3. I also believe Viper's Pit may have received a little bit of a nerf last patch because I think that's now up to 8 charges, if I can count. Is it 8 charges? No, it's still 7 charges. Never mind, I can't count. It did not receive a nerf, which is a good thing to point out. That in the most recent patch, there was changes to the way economy works. Primarily, some weapons got cheaper, like your Frenzy, your Shorty, your... I can't remember, there's another weapon. The other SMG to the Spectre, I can't think of its name because no one picks it up. They got cheaper, and utility got more expensive because you don't get your signature charges. You have to buy a second one these days. So what's going to get hit by that concussion is going to have to retreat. But Pex is there for the counter flash to try and save what's life. And there's 9 here over on the site. The 2 over in tunnel do not wish to fight that anymore. They're going to have to retreat and roll back until they can get that situational awareness, find out where some of the opponents are. But they don't have that capability because they don't have that Sova anymore. And their Trailblazer has already been used. So now they're playing blind into their opponents. And this is the first time we've seen Mindfreak really hold this angle up here in, I want to call it heaven, but I'm actually not too sure what it's called these days. Nest, okay. Alright, this is the first time casting this map. So we're going to be a little bit wary on those names, and Wilson's going to be relocating. Pyramids are going to be slowed off, and a nice shot from Norson.
Spike down
The
A.
operator just has so much value on these sites, and Norson's trying to give as much time to himself to get away, and he doesn't get away. Squirrel cannot protect his teammate as well as he would have liked, but it's still 2 versus 4 in favor of Mindfreak, and Orgless have a lot to do here. Possibly too much to do, as they do end up falling under Mindfreak, and Mindfreak will get another round win underneath their belt. Remember, both these teams, actually, Mindfreak has played this map before in OCE. I think they were one of the first 2 teams to play this in the OCE region in a professional match. However, Orgless have not. Now we're going to get 1 ultimate point closer for Pex there, which means he'll be able to have that run it back potentially next round if they go for the ultimate orbs, which is something that we haven't really discussed too much on the stage. The 2 ultimate orbs are located towards the B site and the A tunnels. It's really easy for the offensive team to pick up that first ultimate orb towards A, but the B side is a little bit more contested, where you won't see the defense able to pick it up too often, purely for the fact that they have to put themselves in a very vulnerable position to be able to retrieve that ultimate orb. And these could lead into being able to pick up those ultimates a little bit faster and snowballing your advantage in these rounds. Speaking of ultimates, we do have the Jet and Sky. They are prepared for their ultimates, which will be seeing Cream use this round, as it is an economy round for them. A little bit of a, still just going through the timeout, both teams being able to breathe. The attackers of Orgless are now being able to get a chance to sit down and think what has and hasn't been working. So far they've been trying to initiate on A, and each time they kind of get bowled over by the strength of Mindfreak. The success has been when the map's been a little bit split up and they've been able to take engagements that are kind of unfavored for Mindfreak. Mindfreak are staying back, taking long range engagements, which works quite well because they have an operator, and Norson is not going to let that go easily. Once again, we're going to see the Vipers will cut off that choke point to A. And it's going to go throw up because they want to try and grab some of this mid-round position. If they have been able to identify this, they might start looking at hitting this more and more often so they can get in and start kind of playing with their opponent's fears. But Norson's here, but they know this. They heard him before. Hex is going to peek on out. Norson's going to find that kill. He's going to get a second one. No, he won't. He gets staggered to the face. But then Cream gets shot behind. And now Nameless is left all in the middle of the map as they collapse upon him from all directions. He gets 1 shot. He removes a little bit of economy. But unfortunately, that's as far as he's going to go in this round. Thank you, Digital Cast, for your host, and welcome. Hope that match lived up to its hype. I really want to know who won, so anyone in chat, let me know who won in that match. I believe it was Pete's versus Team Bliss. If I have been paying attention, I really look forward to seeing who capitalized on that map. So let me know. Welcome here. You are watching Orgless versus Mindfreak. Both these teams wanting to capitalize on this second pick in the Oceanic region map on Breeze. A great little flash comes on out, but unfortunately he can't capitalize on it. He gets shut down, but he gets a lot of knowledge and does a bit of damage to that Sky. But Sky can regenerate that if she requires. And Norson, the position he's got on this operator is disgusting. How has he made this much movement? And he's going to find himself one. As simple as that. He's splitting the map up alone. Squirrel's alarm bot goes off and both the swarms to slow them down, but they're just going to dash and walk past it. He's going to quickly avoid that recon dart, and then he's going to get quickly taken down by Xenix, leaving Norson last on the map to find one, and just slowing down the push again. Orgless just can't do anything against Norson. Norson is too damn strong. We've got a little bit of engagement coming on with Cream at the back of the phone. He needs to find this. He's lost one teammate already, and unfortunately he goes down with the daggers shortly to follow. So he was not living for too much longer there. And Mindfreak, they make their way up to 9 points. All on the defender's side of this map. Remember, this map does not have much knowledge about it. No one really knows if there's an attacker-sided map, a defender-sided map, or what yet. But Mindfreak, they're showing that they are really happy to give up that mid, give up the position so you don't have to rotate or get caught out of position. They're playing in teams, they're playing the buddy system. If one of them goes down, there's always a second there to pick up the scraps and help them out.
Nowhere to run!
We're going to hear the Hunter Fury come on. Oh, it's going to land on one. Can he find the second shot? He almost finds a shot on his teammate. That would have been a little bit of a surprise there for his friend. It's not going to be the case in this case. Norson. He is phenomenal on the shot, and he doesn't get it this time. He almost lost his head to Nameless. But Norson doesn't care. He's coming back. He's got a Phantom. He pre-bought himself a secondary weapon so he can come close. But he's just giving away a lot of his knowledge. They just jumped on down. And this Xenix was waiting. This is what happens on this kind of map. You're not familiar with those sightlines. He may have thought that there was plenty of room to survive, but there wasn't, as What finds himself two and gets a third. What is this man? What is what this man is? And he can't find the fourth. Aaron.
I got the spike.
He's got the spike. He's got two left to go. He's up against the Viper's Pit. His Seekers have found one up towards Bridge, and he knows the second one's towards the middle of the map. Those Seekers went on forever, so he's got the knowledge. He knows where the location is. He knows one's going to operate, so he doesn't want to try and take that at long range. But he gets the head. He's going to force Scroll to come for him now. And he gets the information. And he knows he still has the operator. So Aaron's going to play the timer because he knows that the operator is at a disadvantage here. Scroll's going to get blind as he quickly avoids the shot, but he gets shot. Aaron tries to get too aggressive and Scroll punishes it. If he'd played for the spike, it could have been a completely different situation. Aaron was trying to catch the opponent off guard, trying to catch him out, because you usually would think that up against an operator, you will play those tight angles, you'll play for the defuse. He may have been worried that he would find himself a Vandal or a Phantom lying around and be able to switch and take the fight to him. Maybe he wanted to catch his opponent off guard, but either way, it didn't work. And Scroll is just too damn strong. Now we've switched sides. What can we see? Will we see the continued domination that Mindfreak is offering us at the moment? Or will we see Orgless show us that, yes, this map is actually hugely defended-sided and we can play defense?
Let's go.
So now with a little bit of breath in both teams and in my lungs, going to be starting to push this point. The wall is up, choke lined at A, so they can make their A aggression. We saw this a few times in the first half, but how will we see August play against this? Aaron gets aggressive, tries to find the shots, unable to land. He gets a little bit of damage in. Norson's going to be playing a very tight angle there if anyone does make their way down hallway, which he might be up against very shortly, as Nameless is keeping an eye on there, but he's able to play back. Scroll is playing an interesting location. He's watching for any lurks and rotations, as Norson is now going to come on out. He's going to quickly dash, but he's locked into place. Nameless should be able to clean up this kill if we see Norson pop his head out one more time. Norson's really afraid at the moment. There's a lot of smokes coming off some choke lines and Pex is getting pulled in, and unfortunately they can't capitalize on it. He's too quick to retreat, and he's going to pop around the corner. Didn't expect Cream to be able to sneak in from that sideline. Scroll gets one but instantly toned down. This leaves Norson left, but there was no chance in hell with 10 HP against 4 people. So what we saw there, again, is another one of those instances where players are not so familiar with the map. We'll go have a quick look. Over to... Oh man, this spectator zoom is so slow. I really feel like I need to open this up. We saw a player get played here. He was watching, but he didn't see quite the angle that can get rotated around the box and get into the little gap behind the wall. And that caught them out, and then kind of their offense towards the A side kind of fell. And that's another one of those instances we're going to see time and time again. Just players not familiar with this map and the sidelines that they can offer. Marksman's going to land. Oh my god! He got him through the smoke! He got a second one! Holy shit! Can he get another? No, he can't, but he's being defended by his
Spike
allies.
down, B.
As now they're going to pick that up and going to start
One
playing it down.
enemy
Zenix is going to pick that up and they're going to chase down. You can see the panic and what as that goes down. Excuse my language, but wow. Toxic. Oh, two blind shots through the wall like that. Unbelievable. And now, that's 2 rounds in favor of Orgless, and they haven't really lost too much on either of these rounds. Mindfreaks, they're still trying to decide what's the best way of offense, and they're still continuing hammering A. They still feel like A is the way to go. They've got that wall, once again, splitting that A site, which will be typically your standard lineup. I'm a little surprised that they do it a little bit early and don't try and completely lock down the entirety of the left side. We're going to see that completely be burst down. Pex is want to try and fight this, but Ferg is actually the one that able to find the initial frag on the map. The flash comes around, both sides are flash, and Pex is going to capitalize on the great utility usage, but that doesn't mean Aaron didn't get one as he was going down and blinded. But Nameless, hiding here on this point.
Spike planted.
Still waiting. The Spectre pops around and almost finds himself a kill. But now they're going to have to wait for the rotations in. What is trying to find a lurker, trying to wait for anyone come inside. He's not going to see it. We're going to see some engagement on the left side of the map over on A side as Zenix gets picked off by Pex. Pex and Norson going to be controlling the final kills left on this round, and they will pick themselves up another round. But this time, it's the first of their offensive side. Orgless, they have a huge mountain to climb, and it's not like they can't do it. They took down Nebula in their last series in a grueling best of 3 series. Their final map went into overtime 14-12. They're ready for this. They're warmed up. But then you got, at the same time, both these teams, best of 3s. Fatigue could be starting to set in. They could be starting to feel the effects of this late night Valorant action. And here on Breeze, I mean, it's already hard enough to play in a map you know, but playing a map you don't know when you're starting to get worn out and tired, I do not envy these players at the moment.
Joke's over! You're dead!
We're going to see the run-up back being used as Pex goes in for point. He's not going to find anyone as the site has been vacated. And Aaron finds himself a beautiful little kill. And he sees the return. Aaron's going to take that any day of the week. Gets his Seekers up. And they're going to be on the hunt. Norson's going to be spotted out up here. And they now know his position. They also know Scrolls at the bottom. They're going to know that there's 3 agents located all the way across the map. They have to be careful from all these angles, especially as Ferg is going to pop on in. And unfortunately, Toxic completely forgo that the Seeker went through those doors to the A sites, and he's going to get picked off from an angle he should have had covered.
Last player
But now,
standing.
Cream and Nameless are able to secure the round as Aaron comes in for the third. This has almost put Mindfreak on the back foot. Their economy is still healthy. They're going to be able to mostly bind this round. What's not going to be able to pick up as much as he'd like. Whether he sacrifices some smokes to be able to get himself a better powered weapon and some armor. Or he picks up that utility and be able to help support himself on these sites. So Toxic is going to be able to prepare and stop any kind of push straight off the bat there in case there's any kind of aggression. Once again, the smoke screen seems to, the poison or Toxic screen seems to continually be used towards a site. They don't have kind of the different lineups as we saw with Augurs who were trying to cut off vision as they made their way down mid, and they didn't really work on trying to find another location for this. So now they're going to push onto site. Toxic's going to be loading around into a different location. He hears the plant going on down, and they're going to spray through, but they don't find it. Somehow they avoid finding that planted down as the Toxic pick goes on down. Pex are going to rotate. We're seeing Chaos currently and Shu. It's just coming down to who can find the better kills at the moment. Norson's going to be able to find one as he dives back into the Toxic screen. Now we can see Toxic coming up from behind trying to spam on through. He's going to get killed by Norson. Ferg is rotating on through and he gets killed as the Toxic Scream is now
player
going to fall
standing.
down. And this leaves Scroll all alone here at the back in tunnels trying to defend the site. He's going to try and peek. He gets flashed. He's being held off the point. He quickly avoids the flash. Can he do it? No, he cannot. Aaron is playing out of his mind. This last few rounds, he's finding the kills everywhere on this map, being a key player on Orgless. The utility, the flashes, the information gathering, and now the kills. Aaron can do it all. As Orgless is making their comeback here on the defense. Thank you everyone tuning in from wherever you are around the world. Most of you will probably be OCE and most of you this will be late for you. So I do appreciate you coming in and supporting the OC region and these two teams going at it. What's unable to stop that Trailblazer coming out his face and is going to get hit up. And Cream decides he doesn't want to move in there. Once that wall goes down, they're going to retreat. They're hoping someone will push through and they'd be able to do something with it. But it won't be the case here. What? It's waiting for that peek from Aaron. If he can find Aaron, this round could turn around in a jiffy because Aaron has been the stone, has been the key player for Orgless. And they're going to find it. They take a few shots, but Aaron's on the retreat. The flash comes on in, but Aaron's still able to deal with both of them. He does not care for your shenanigans. Scroll with the Guardian. 1-2 finds himself a Xenix. But then Aaron will clean that up without much issues. We hear some daggers coming off. Norton refreshes them. But Aaron, the quad. Stop it, Aaron. This is getting dirty. I love it. Now the gold, the money, it's flowing in Orgless's favor. They are swimming in it, except for Xenon and Toxic. They've just kind of thrown it all away. But everyone else is enjoying their time in the Playboy Mansion with all the money that they have rolling around in all the round victories here on the defense. And now they've got 4 ultimates to show for it. They do not have the Astral Divide, but they've got 4 other key ultimates. 2 information gathering and 2 a zoning. Obviously one that you want to keep to get ultra aggressive with that Bladestorm. Toxic's decided he's gone to lock down this pit. He thought about pushing forward, but thought better of it, as he just wants to hold this B side, and well placed. They assume there may have been a coming of B point. Once again, we're seeing Mindfreak throw out the Toxic screen over at A. Whether they're just trying to continue to tempt their opponents that they're going to A, it's not going to happen because Nameless has got a lot of information over here. But it feels like they might not have any other lineups. And Norton, what a crazy shot as now the Hunter's Fury comes on out. We're going to see Norton get a kill on Aaron. And this could be the opening that Mindfreak need to be able to secure this round. That huge key player is gone. And Toxic's going to get killed as he retreats. And they're all fall down. Just like dominoes. Orgless can't stand up any further. Once Aaron fall, the rest of them fell. So Mindfreak are now onto the map point here. And how well can they stand up? Can Orgless dust themselves off the ground and pick up 5 more wins in a row? They've showed that they can almost string together 6 wins. This time they need to do it. Be able to hold on. Let's see Ferg. Where's that Toxic Squid? Keeping a little bit of a distance on that A site. As Toxic's gonna be firing on through the smoke. Narrowly of no way, he gets one. The Paranoia misses, which is gonna be great. He's gonna get rid of that so he doesn't have to deal with it and cleans up Norson. Toxic, he goes for the few shots, but what says you destroy my altar body? I will destroy you, son. As now Cream is left here, but Ferg is now rotating in from the side. He might catch off Nameless here. Nameless peeks around the corner. Ferg can't find the shot, but he's going to throw that snake bite out so he doesn't peek him as he pushes onto this point. But he's going to rotate through the tunnels. They got 57 seconds left. Nameless is still checking to get that information, and not only does he get information, he gets the kill, leaving Watt all alone to his own devices as he now needs to try and find out what he needs to do here. Their economy's looking okay. He can afford to lose a weapon here. He wants those kills. Nameless, he's coming for you. What's on the hunt? He goes around the corner. Nameless almost gets the flick of the century, but he can't get it. The flash is going to come out, and what's going to be? Wait a second. Why is there someone still on the A site? And he's completely confused. He doesn't know where to go. He's going to try and jump on into the smoke. Zen's going to almost think about shooting into it, as what now starts making his advances. Aaron's got his numbers covered. And there goes What's-His life. His soul has been ripped by Aaron, who is the Reaper in this game. He's collecting everyone's souls. He's up to 22. He's on par, even better than his opponents. Round 21, 4 more to go for Orgless, so they can try and bring this back in. Mindfreak, they want to close this out. They want to stop it now. They're going to have to go into a little bit of a buy-in. They're picking up 2 Marshals. Remember, Marshals have become cheaper in this new patch. A little bit cheaper, so we're going to see more Marshals picked up. And it is such a strong weapon. Amos is going to be following those Seekers out. They know one's now up in halls, and the final 2 are coming down. They're going to hear a lot of marksman shots. Nameless is ready to take names. He's got his list out. Oh, he almost finds the collateral of the 3. What's going to be able to find one up in heaven? Oh, not heaven, up in the hall. As now they're collapsing onto this point, and everyone's dying around them. What can't get through? They're trying to be sprouted off. Kareem is going to try to slow this down any further. He's not going to find the kill. Ferg gets one more. It's 2 versus 2. It's getting close here. Kareem is able to clean it up, putting them back in the advantage. They have no clue where What is. What is on the hunt? He sees one towards Pyramid. Gotta take it slow. He doesn't suspect this at all. He misses the shots. Oh no. Oh, Toxic, quick on the reaction. You don't give that man a chance to survive. He will make you pay for it, and he will pick up the round for his team. Orgless, they're doing it. They're bringing it back. That's 2 rounds in a row. They need another 3. They can pull this into overtime. Mindfreak, they need to shut this out as soon as possible.
Here.
And for the, I don't know, what's that, 9th consecutive round in a row, we're going to see, oh, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit further cut off towards the left side of the A. I know I'm giving Ferg a little bit of a harassment here. This is a new map and people aren't quite sure. Oh, Toxic!
Spike down mid.
People aren't quite too sure about where the Toxic screen best placements are, but you can use it to zone these sides a lot. We're going to see
Joke's over. You're
Orgless
dead.
use a really interesting cut across the middle. Norsen's going to decide he's just going to run straight into the A site. It's going to give a lot of information away that they are firing from this location. And Squirrel's going to get one, but he's going to get shut down. And they see the spike drop. He goes for a re-challenge, but he can't find it. It's 2 versus 2. But Aaron is on the side. He's still alive. We've seen him do this before. We've seen how strong he is. We've seen him get 4Ks. He's got 2 HP. Please, please heal up. No, don't flash. Heal. Heal. Zenix is able to find the kill.
Down A.
Take flight.
The drone is going to come in and he sees that they're trying to play a very aggressive location. Pex is going to be able to get it down. He's going to be spotted out. The flash comes on in, but he quickly dodges it. He gets one. Now it's all up to Aaron. This is the chance to stay back in, and he doesn't get it. Pex finally closes out, breathes, and will take map number 1 for Mindfreak. Oh, that was on the edge of your seat roller coaster there. Mindfreak versus Orgless. Ooh, and on Breeze, you love to see it. Well, actually, you don't get to see it, but we did. So I'm very happy we got to see a Breeze map. So, we have a little look at the scoreboard before we move into our second match. Norsen and Scroll and Aaron, top 3 scorers. All 3 of them played phenomenally. I mean, first place on Norsen. Norsen was able to open up the map a lot for his team. But then you look at the side of Orgless. All of them were able to find the initial frags on the map. You didn't necessarily require your duelist to open up the map and create these strategies on the fly for you. And that's what Breeze was mostly about. It didn't really feel like there was hardcore executions. There was kind of the simplistic strategies. Okay, we've got a wall up. We've kind of blocked a sight line. Let's hope we get a plant. And we saw that from both teams there. Anyway, as we will move into our second map, We'll switch this off so I can update my overlays for you all. And let's have a look at who the next map will be. So, Mindfreak will be picking Haven for our next map. So that was Orgless's pick. They're on Breeze. Unfortunately, they lost their pick. And now they're coming up against Mindfreak's pick on Haven. Haven is exactly what Mindfreak love to run. We look at their win percentages, it's their second best map. They have 60.5% win rate on Haven. And in professional matches, they have 43 maps on Haven. This is going to be a strong pick for Mindfreak, and Orgless are going to have their work cut out for them. But we could see there, Orgless, they have the skills, they have the talent, but will they be able to bring it to us on Haven? I surely hope so, and I'm sure you will all find out shortly. So we're going to go get a break. I'm going to have a breather and get some water into me, so stay tuned. Map 2 will be coming up very shortly. just want to clarify something. I was completely wrong. Sorry, Aaron, for giving you a little bit of strife in that last one of those last rounds. Skye cannot heal herself. Thank you, chat, for pointing that out. I'm a scrub, but I do appreciate it. I do like to learn a little bit more of the intricacies of the game. That one should have been fairly obvious. I mean, I've played Skye a little bit. I haven't played her too much. I'm terrible with her. But thank you. Thank you, chat, for setting me in line. We do have the set map number 2 coming up very shortly. The teams are just having a little bit of a break. It is 11 PM Australian time. It's 1 o'clock if any of these players are from New Zealand. I feel sorry for them if they are. Stay tuned. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be having a match coming your way very shortly. I'd say maybe about 30 seconds. Then I'm always wrong. Especially in OCE, people tend to, how shall we put it, delay the start. But anyway, stick with us. Map number 2 coming up very shortly.
It's been 700 degrees in here since you came in. I could swear that this room has been running out of air, and now it's starting to spin. You make me feel kind of bad, kind of good, kind of everything, yet it doesn't feel like it should. You make me feel kind of wrong, kind of right, kind of anything, and I would change it if I could. Swear that I'm fainting, I think I'm losing my sight, I swear I'm hitting the floor. I could swear that my stomach just sunk a meter, I'll be dead if I take any more. You make me feel kind of bad, kind of good, kind of everything, yet it doesn't feel like it should. You make me feel kind of wrong, kind of right, kind of anything, and I would change it if I could.
We are back, ladies and gentle people, for map number 2 of the Valorant Oceania Tour, Stage 3, Open Qualifiers 1, quarterfinals, with Mindfreak versus Orgless. I threw some predictions up in chat. Show your love to your team that you believe will take out here on Haven. You'll see that it's MF and Org. For some reason, Twitch didn't like Mindfreak as an option, and also didn't like Orgless for an option. So I had to kind of shorten down the names to Twitch and their kind of sensitivity, which is good, but then also a little bit weird in the way it's... Anyway, let's forget all about that. We're jumping into the game. We are on Haven, and the teams are ready to go. Oh, I missed the transition button. Go! So, what I'm seeing, a fairly standard lineup these days. You have your Jet. Oh, actually, we're missing a Jet on Mindfreak. That's a little interesting. Usually you see a Jet, but they're going to switch that out for only a single duelist here, and that would be played by Ferg on that raise. Whereas you look at Orgless, they've got your duelist set up with the raise and the Jet coming at them. So they're going to have that initiation and aggression that you require on Haven. But what they lack in that capability, Mindfreak has picked up in utility. You've got the flashes from Pex, and Pex has been playing outstanding on that Sky. And you also have the Astra. Astra is well known for for a multitude of reasons. A, the utility of being able to place down those black holes, place down the cover, completely be on the work, yet support your team out completely whenever and wherever you are. It's a very strong pickup from there. Over on Orgless, you're going to be seeing also an Astra, as we just mentioned, and a Cypher. So both teams could be running a Cypher, which I quite like, because if you suspect there's going to be a jet on your opponents, that Cypher now can deal with the jet with those tripwires, which forces a lot of jets to have to updraft before they tower win onto sites, which not only wastes utility, but then it kind of ruins their accuracy because it takes longer to drop to the ground. So we're going to be seeing Mindfreak start an engagement over towards the A sites. They want to try and find what they can get. The Boombot comes on out. That is an expensive Boombot for 400 credits these days. Aaron's going to return the favor, give the money back to their opponents. And also it's going to be just kind of holding off, waiting to see if there was anyone lurking around, playing aggressive or stepping out of line. But in this case, Nameless isn't going to do that. They're happy to sit back. Both teams are feeling each other out, feeling what they're going to try and do and try and counteract it. But they're trying to counteract. Oh, what a beautiful black hole! It was perfectly timed, but they're quickly on sight. We're going to have the lurk coming from Scroll. He's going to be looking for it. He hears the movement, so he now knows they don't suspect he's behind any further, and that the entire site is now stacked onto C. Aaron and Toxic are going to be looking for their opening frags here. Can they be able to get it? Great little flash comes on out, and Cream is able to protect his allies, as now they're going to push on in. Aaron gets the other, and there's just one left. Scroll. He was on that lurk. He's trying to do what he can, but unfortunately he got pushed as he was trying to get some recon in, and he'll get punished for his insolence. As Orgless, they move one up here in the pistol round, and they start this map off exactly how they want it, in the lead, getting some momentum and picking up those Spectres.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
So if you were just joining the stream, welcome. This is the Oceanic Valorant Tour. This is our quarterfinals of one of our open qualifiers, and this is map number 2 of a best of 3. Teams trying to make their way into the semis to be able to secure them spot into the closed finals. We've seen Toxic with a marksman before, or Marshall before, not a marksman. Marshall before, being the marksman that he is. Am I going to kill here? Oh, a little bit of a jiggling there from what? And now they know that there's marshals on both ends. I apologize, guys. It is getting close to 11:30. That's what I'm going to blame it on, not my lack of knowledge. Ferg's going to get a beautiful kill there with the paint shells just to secure the kill in case he did go down. He's going to get healed up from that Sky. Once again, thank you Twitch chat for correcting my game knowledge. Sky can only heal allies and not herself. Now we're going to be seeing Aaron hold down the side all alone as Mindfreak decide to make their advance. They don't really have the capability to get any information. Thurg thought about throwing that paint shells, but unfortunately does not have anything there underneath his belt to throw away. And they're going to pop around the corner, and Aaron gets one. He's going to be looking for a second. He throws out the utility, but luckily Cream was there to back him up. It could have been disastrous, and Cream gets a second. As Aaron goes up high, checks down and sees nothing. He might have seen a foot. Did he see a foot? No, he didn't see a foot. But Norson saw something, but Norson can't find the kill. Aaron peeks on out, throws off the aim, and completely shuts them down. That is 2 rounds. It was looking a little bit dicey there, however, for Orgless, as Mindfreak made their advance towards the A site. But luckily, Cream and Aaron, they played wonderful together. Aaron doesn't need that Sky to show us what he's capable of. He's got the raise and he's got the support of his allies, which is exactly what you want in this kind of environment.
Going Astro, guys. Right there.
Man, Astra's kind of mini game looks so cool. And now Pex are going to be trying to find some space down the middle. We see that Orgless are happy to give up this mid control, but they're playing an aggressive B, aggressive down towards A lobby. They've got Aaron and Cream kind of ready to swing if anything were to hit the fan, so to speak. And Xenix is going to get a little bit of damage.
Take flight.
It scares away that Cypher. Nameless trying to play through the smoke but gets taken out. This leaves Toxic all alone to have to deal with the current aggression. He's going to hide. He might get away with this. He almost gets a shot. He turns around. He still can't find it. He needs one more. The shot's finally landed, but he gets taken out by the shotgun. As now the retake ensures. What can we see here? Xenix is going to get some recon out, but as he picks around, Scroll was ready for him. He was like, you do not get any information underneath my watch. Cream is trying to slowly make his way forward. He gets some kind of spam on through and then finds himself another. This leaves What to come out from behind, and Aaron's there protected. The duo of Aaron and Cream is just strong. They just keep coming after you again and again and again. 5-0, 5-1. These two have alone earned more kills than their opposition. Mindfreak, they just can't deal with Aaron or Cream. And that is a scary thought. You're 3 rounds in and you just see this kill feed. Ooh, you don't want to deal with that. So now they're going to set up in a default. Cypher this time has rotated towards the A side to catch their opponents off guard. Maybe if a dash and jet comes on in, it will cause a little bit of panic and havoc for that jet. Now the ultimate's also going to get picked up, and that is a showstopper now available. So that is a key ultimate that could help them secure this round. But first, they're creating a little bit of noise, getting rid of those doors in case they need to spam through that wall. They're creating a little bit of an opening into garage. Xenix is going to fire at it to try and make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. It was probably unnecessary. It gave a little bit of information away that wasn't required. But hey, they may have been trying to play with the knowledge of their opponents, thinking that someone is in the room, so when they go to clear, they've got a better angle to trick them out. Cream's going to come on through. We're going to see a great showstopper by Berg. Gets one, gets a second one. He has cleaned this site. That showstopper and ultimate orb is coming in so much. It's coming in so heavy. I don't know where I was going with that. And now, Toxic, his last one left alive. He's going to try and remove a little bit of weapons from these opponents. It's okay. They have plenty of money to spend coming up on the next round themselves. So now he's just going to try and find whatever he can and keep his weapon to himself. Ferg. Ooh, the Sixth Sense finds it and they know where Toxic is. Toxic's going to be looking for a retreat, but X hiding at Defender's spawn will kill him from the shadows. So the first round now on the board for Mindfreak. They're now starting to feel a little bit comfortable. They've picked up a kill. They've shown they can stop Iron and Cream. The dream combo here in this match. It looks like they're going to start to set up their execution onto the A site. Unlike Breeze, you have plenty of executions here on Haven. It's been around for a while, and it depends on how you want to take these sites, whether you want to go for a forward progression of A, or you want to try and create a little bit of a chaos and just kind of spam the point with utility and clear people out from those side lanes. Xenix is trying to find it. Will he actually get it? He does get one. He might have seen a second one too, if he was keeping a keen eye on the corner of his eye. Xenix, he's thinking about it. He wants to get aggressive, but he may have got the call to stand down, to stand back the drone. He's going to get Cream, and Cream's going to back out of there. Luckily, being that jet, he's not going to get punished for being too far up on the map. A little bit of damage coming out there, and Astra, what's not going to be happy about that one? He's going to have to hope for the rotation in from the Sky to help him out, but Sky's just in range to get Watt up to scratch there.
I've got your trail.
Now Cream is going to be holding on. He throws out all the smokes. He's going to play aggressively. He gets rid of that concussion. He goes up in the air and shuts down Ferg. Showstopper comes in, but it doesn't do anything. It seems to have hit the wall. It didn't go into the side like he wished. But he has to wait for his teammates to come in. They're all coming in from the other side. There's so much astral utility coming down. And Norson, he's coming up behind. They might not notice this. He gets 1. He gets 2. He can get 3. No, he cannot. But he's done enough for the rest of his team. But the orb, not the orb, the spike is down. It's going to go down 1 more time. There's 1 person left. X is alone. And he gets taken out. Orgless. Just showing all the skills, all their strategies, and just completely stopping Mindfreak in their tracks. We move into round 6 with Orgless seemingly on fire. They just can't be. They feel like they can't slow down at the moment. They're now in the feeling they want to get revenge against Mindfreak from map number 1. They're feeling if they had a couple more rounds, Orgless could have turned that back around. They had 1 more round to give. They were on a roll. So now we're going to see a very aggressive push coming out from ARM and Cream as the Hunter's Fury comes on out. Which Hunter's Fury we got? We got Xenix over here. He gets 1, but he doesn't have a final shot left to deal with that. Toxic is going to meet his counterpart here, but Toxic is going to go down with Norson. He was not prepared for that hiding, and now the paint shot's going to come out, forcing Aaron away from his corner. And now we've got the rotation. The neural theft gave him the information that they need to get on the A side, allows Norson to get an aggressive position. Now Cream needs to go with Aaron to make their way towards the A site. And they're going to have to play it safe here. They're going to have to wait for the rotations for their opponents to come, or from their allies, I should say. The daggers go up, but he doesn't find the kill. He did a little bit of damage. He wishes he could have got 1 more shot. The satchel pack comes out of the sky, hoping to clean up that spike plant, as the spike still hasn't gone down yet. As now they're starting to push the side, but the black hole is doing so much damage. He's trying to stay off to the side, but he finally gets broken and becomes vulnerable and gets burst on down. Aaron's trying to fire from the heaven. His only teammate goes down, and now they lose the round. Mindfreak picking up their second. They've started to slow and stem the bleeding. Orgless, first time in this map that they felt a little bit rushed. As they were trying to get on the A site, they were doing really well at delaying the bomb plant, kind of causing confusion in Mindfreak. But once they decided that they were going to initiate, that black hole that came out from what? It stopped them dead in their tracks. They couldn't go anywhere. And their key fragment just fell down.
Cage trigger.
Oh, Cream! He goes out! He does get punished, I was about to say. You can't move that far up against 4 people and not get punished for that. Aaron's going to get hit, then spare him down to the walls. This will just leave Toxic on the hunt. Ooh, he's thinking about staying. He's going to shoot the tripwire now. The entire team knows where his location is on the map. They're going to get that plant down. Ooh, smart idea. Instead of planting it, they've got all the time in the world. Pick up the ultimate orb, get the plant, and you've got the showstopper coming into your next round. This will help you pick up your 4th round and even the scoreline between the 2 teams. As Toxic is still keeping his way. Just having a sweet, dandy old time. But Norson is hot on his tail and gets the headshot. So there's 4 ultimates now gone in favor of Mindfreak coming into round 8. And they're only going to be going up against a Cosmic Divide and a Neural Fast. Both not going to be exactly what you quite need to stop the aggression that Mindfreak is starting to pull out. And especially when you've got the Hunter's Fury, you've got the Seekers, and you also have a Showstopper, that Cosmic Divide's not going to do anything. You're just going to run on through that, following in the Seekers, and find yourself a little kill. So now, going to be a little bit of intel gathering coming up into the B site.
I've got your trail.
And now the Seekers coming out, and this is what I was talking about. They're going to try and use the Seekers to follow on in, but no, it got quickly shut down. Fer comes on with that Showstopper, but he didn't find him. They'd already retreated away, and he's still trying to run. They get the shot, and accidentally gets Nameless. Nameless was not suspecting that. He got led to his death by Toxic, and Toxic falls shortly after. The sound cues from Toxic gave away Nameless's location, and he will fall to that showstopper. And that's what we spoke about. Using the Seekers and then following it up with that showstopper, because there's not going to be too much you can do about it. Cream and Aaron are looking for the point. Gets a little bit of damage. They're going to pop on in. Unfortunately, Cream did not have the angle prepared. He's going to give away his location, jumps on in and gets killed from the crossfire. And if he didn't get killed from the crossfire, Norson was coming in from the lurk. Norson is always somehow behind his opponents. You can't find him. He's sneaking around the map. He always comes in when you least expect it. He's just a pain to deal with, which is absolutely fantastic for Mindfreak. This is what you want. You want to keep the uncertainty in your opponents. They're going to be wondering, where is that fifth player? Is he going to be with the rest of the team pushing the site, or is he going to be coming from behind? So we have to keep our focus and attention elsewhere. Otherwise, we're going to be capitalized upon. And when you're not completely focused 100% on what your goal is at the moment, it can be deadly. So now we see the showstopper being picked up on thanks to that ultimate orb on Aaron. But at this stage, Mindfreak are happy to play back. They're happy to play for engagements and find the opening frag. They're not really required to push it on site here. They've got plenty of time to work with. As Toxic though, he's going to be getting aggressive and he might catch off his opponents. He shot the cam and that gave away his position, allowing for Ferg to rotate around. H-Shell's going to clear open that window, allow them some space onto site. Nameless is unfortunately not going to land the Marshall shot to the head. And good little recon dart, but there's only so much you can do with that knowledge when you don't have the position on the map anymore. Satchel Charge just slowly keeping them away from being able to get on site. Cream will fall down towards Garage, leaving Xenix and Aaron left to try and deal with these players. And they find themselves a weapon and get themselves out of there.
Last player
and
standing.
who do we have here? We got Norson on the lurk, and he will clean both of them up. Like I said, he's always behind you. Normally a Cypher would not be your key player on offense, but here, that lurking role is just working so well for Norson. He's finding the kills, he's taking his time, he's catching his opponents off guard over and over again, where their attention is drawn to the front lines. So Astra's getting set up on fairly default. A little bit interesting pool spot down the bottom here in sewers. Maybe hoping for a black hole and catch anyone off guard. And Cream wants to get aggressive. He's going to see one. And thanks to the boombot, he gets the kill. Great little utility usage. And they're just going to back off and retreat. They're going to play it safe. They're going to force their opponents to come to them. One man down. No longer do you have to worry about that lurk coming from behind you. So you can play a little bit more confidently, a little bit safer. Unless Mindfreak want to pop that roll off to someone else. And it looks like they're trying to create a distraction over at the C site, allowing for... I can switch to him? I can't switch to him. Oh, yes, I can. What to rotate at the A side, and Cream gets another kill on Pex. Now it's 3 already. Mindfreaks have lost 2 and they haven't gotten anything out of it. They've got no map provision. They've got barely any utility wasted from Orgless. It's not been a successful round so far for them. What's synced about that ultimate orb? But we have the showstopper. He sees 2, he pops it out, and boom goes the dynamite. He gets 1, he will get turned out, but he did get what he needed. Now what's all alone playing for the fake defuse, and Cream, he's not going to have a bar of it, and will get that kill. We have 5-5 score, and here on map number 2. Ooh. You can't get any closer than this, folks. So thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for all those tuning on in. It is here. It is late in the Oceanic region. It's currently just hit 11:30 PM at night. 1:30 for any New Zealand players we have on either of these teams. Unfortunately, I'm not quite too sure of their nationality, but I would like to point them out because they deserve credit to our brothers in arms.
Tagged.
Toxic
charges
gets the
left.
tag on the drone. We will see the others. Ooh, he
Cage
almost finds the capability to pick off a few. As Ferg is now on site, he satches up to the high ground. He clears visually the side, allowing the rest of his team to now start moving on in. Norson, once again, on that lurk. He's waiting. He's ready to pop out the last time, but this time he's going to be spotted out. There was 2 of them dedicated to hunt that man down. Now Toxic's going to come on in. Cream's also going to be rotating. They push in at the same time. They find 2 sitting up on those lumbers. And then they just completely all fall down. Cheeky little spot there coming out from Mindfreak. Being able to just both hide up there. And then you popped around the corner. And it's that moment. You know you're dead. You can't get both of those. Even with really good spray, you should be dead 9 times out of 10. Now we have 2 ultimates up on either side. We have the Blade Storm and Neural Theft ready for Orgless. And we got the Seekers and Neural Theft ready for Mindfreak.
Here.
That's a lot of knowledge gathering from Mindfreak. Nameless. Oh, he gets the beautiful shot. He's going to quickly try and block off his retreat, but he's going to get taken out by the paint shots. He spent too much time and he got pulled in thanks to the black hole. And the Seekers are coming on out. They're going to get killed off. And Aaron, who went in very aggressively and took out that lurker, is going to get hit. He's dazed. He's free for the take, and he gets dazed again. And Cream is trying to defend his ally, but he could only get 1. But by that time, they'd already found that kill. And now Ferg gets another. It is 2 versus 2 here. Mindfreak are now deciding they're going to wrap around to the A side. It's going to catch Orgless out of position. They're going to have to go for the retake. We still have a single dagger left. Do they wish to try and retrieve any of this weapons though? Xenix should be saying, hey, we've got some free space down here. Come grab yourself a weapon. But Cream says, I only need 1 blade to deal with my opponents. But can he do it? The sound of Xenix is going to give them away that there's 1 in here. He's going to forward in. We have the showstopper. It's going to come on in. He can't quite find it. He shoots. He does not score. The dagger does not miss either. So now they're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way with the weapons, with utility. He comes on in. Ferg gets the 4th and Pex gets the 5th. Mindfreak will be moving their way onto defense with 7 rounds to their belt. Which, if you go by the statistics of Haven, is exactly what you need. A 52% win rate for the attackers usually seems to come out with 1 extra round ahead, which ends up being 2. So now we'll see how well Mindfreak tries to react to their opponents. You can already see that they've kind of decided to give up on C site. They're going to play towards a B and A hold. And they've got the Cypher, he's got the knowledge. He can look down a site all himself and kind of rotate around and retrieve additional presence which you normally wouldn't have, especially on the B and A side, especially if they're coming that way. And we're going to see a split come up by Orgless. They're not too sure which opportunity is the best for them at the moment. They get a little bit of vision, they've got the window free, it's smoked up. They're still a little bit undecided about pushing onto that side. They're waiting for Nameless to try and get them some ground and get them some cover. Toxic manages to find 1 from a very aggressed Ferg. Some shots going through the wall. Scroll is dealing with that. He's not playing games with a little bit of an out of an ordinary shot, and he gets another kill. Scroll's going to be prepared to get that Recon Art. Recon Art's going to land above him, but luckily got taken out by the teammate, but he's stuck in the black hole as now the push comes on the side. Norson is coming from behind, but he's going to get picked out. Toxic is one of the last 2 remaining for his team. He picks up 1, he's got a 1v1 left to go, and he gets it with the classic triple to the head. Scroll did not see that one coming. He was waiting for the wide peak. It did not come to him. Instead, death came and befell the man.
That goes there.
Both these teams You can feel the tension. You can feel them when it comes down to them, that they're struggling for each of these wins. They're not able to get a decisive win under their belt. It is hard fought for both these teams. What gets a little caught out there, he was hoping to bait the recon out so he could get a nice little shot. But he decides to back off because it didn't feel like the moment. As now Pex has moved up and Pex gets the shot. They've cleaned up Orgless. Now Aaron, he needs to find the kill here to try and even this up. He blocks off one entry frag. Did he hear the movement coming on the right? Norson actually takes the damage and boosts himself onto that B site as they all rotate towards the B. And Orgless says, okay, we've made some noise. Let's now move and create ourselves a different opening. But Mindfreak are already calling this. They're making the correct decision to rotate towards A. Oh, Cream. He checks the corner, but it's backed up by Xenix. They should know there's one more here. Aaron gets picked off. They didn't suspect the entire team to be here. It caught them off guard, but Mindfreak couldn't capitalize on it. They did get a little bit of damage, but that was about it. That could have been disastrous for Orgless. If they had lost that there, your morale would have fallen down at least a couple of notches. But they were able to clean it up, only lose 2, and now they move into this next round. And they're not going to buy up here. They know that this is... It's a round that you always tend to look down upon. It's the 3rd round. If you win the 2nd one, you still got your weapons from your 2nd round. So they're not buying up, and I think that's a wise decision. They're not trying to force it. They're not trying to push their advantage any further, because if they push it and it doesn't work out, then they're going to be rolling snake eyes, and that's not what you want. Awesome, keeping a little bit of a check down there. Ooh, Ferg, where'd you get that kill, buddy? He got it towards the mid, taking out Toxic. Once again, that working capability of Toxic's no longer going to be a factor. Now start pushing on the site. Pex is going to hide behind Lumber here. Ooh, he doesn't get the shot, but his allies there protect him from the tunnels. And now Cream is all alone. He's got the Spectre. He's going to try and dash. He's going to find himself a kill, but he will not. Mindfreak will stop that dead in the tracks. But that was a round that Orgless were happy with. They needed to get some weapons out of their opponents. They only got one, but now this is the round that they can buy up fully and be prepared to take the fight to Mindfreak. Oh no, I've run out of water. So, and I think my voice is also losing me a little bit here too, so I do apologise, chat. Lose my voice a little bit after 4 hours of casting, with a little bit of a break in between. So, Orgless do not wish to push the aggression. They're happy for the utility to go down. That is one astral star. There's less to worry about. Folks playing in a very aggressive position. Will the drone see him? No, the drone does not. They see that Scroll is playing down long. So this could catch them off guard if they decide to come through lobby and go down long. Because they won't understand that that position was there. But the longer it takes for them to go down there, the more likely it will be to check that corner. And Ferg says, I'm going to capitalize on this advantage because they're taking too long. They mustn't be here anymore. He comes around the corner and Xenix will shut that down. As now the Hunter's Fury comes out. Scroll's trying to get revenge for his fallen teammate, but can't get it onto the Jet. The Jet dashes away, but now she no longer has that dash coming up onto the site retake. Or site take, apologies. Nameless has decided that he's going to take up the lurking position. Toxic actually finds himself a nice little kill towards middle as he moves onto site, but Pex says, I don't need your shenanigans. I will kill you whether I can see you or not. And Cream says, well, for the honor of my friends, I shall take you down for you never to live again. As the spam starts coming on through, this made their way onto site. Cream didn't expect to be so far out, and all of a sudden, the tides have turned. Xenix is all alone. He's trying to defend the site, and they're going to black hole him here. Oh no, they're going to decide to throw out. Oh, he gets one, he gets the two!
A little recognition is nice now and then.
Xenix holds on to the advantage and equalizes the match for Orgless. Wow. I'm at loss for words. That was beautiful work there by Zenix to be able to pick up the 2 on the defense. It was kind of stacked against him with the Astral Orbs going down, 2 full health users, and yet he still manages to come out on top. Ferg going for very aggressive paint shells. It's going to push Zenix away. He's going to take a little bit of damage and some spam. Scroll gets a beautiful shot down from downtown towards the lobby.
Nowhere to
We're
run!
going to see the Hunter's Fury comes on out. He gets a little bit of knowledge. But Pex jukes him out. Using a little bit of that right stick on Madden, being able to keep away from the Hunter's Fury. Now it's up to Orgless. They're 1 man down, which was key for their capability to get the knowledge of their opponents. Now they have to rely on the Sova Dart and their initiation from their 2 jaws to be able to secure the site and try and reclaim the advantage, or at least even the odds. Cream is gonna get hit. He dashes on in, but he doesn't check the corner. He didn't suspect Ferg to be there. Ferg playing in such a great little location, and then with the boombot, kind of pulls Nameless off of the distraction onto the boombot, and then the aim is a little bit off center there.
30 seconds.
So Aaron's just going to try and capture whatever he can. A little bit of ultimate orb to push him closer to that showstopper, and they're going to retreat. The jump, it did something. Probably not as much as he hoped, but it did something. And now all players are about to peek down to Garden. Almost simultaneously, coming from window, coming from sewers. Pex is able to get another kill.
Down A.
Zenix is going to kill from that lurk, and then Pex is going to rotate up and push him. So you cannot get away from Mindfreak. When they've got your sights set on you, they're going to be coming at you, especially Norson. He's going to be on that lurk, and he will hit you from an angle you'll never see. And the interesting thing to point out from Norson, he's got the most deaths on his team. But this is almost irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, because of the fear he's put in his opponents, because he will get those kills if you leave him unchecked. And if you don't leave him unchecked, well, the rest of the team will start picking up their slack, and you'll see Pex, Ferg be able to secure those kills with Scroll off of that utility, as well as the Astral. Ooh, Cream went for the shot. He's now 1 Blade Storm down. As now Orgless attempt to take the C site here. What? And Ferg are going to find themselves the kills, putting Orgless down into an unfavorable situation. They got only 2 left to go. Unfortunately, Ferg gets another. Aaron's hoping someone comes at him so he can use his Bucky to the full advantage. It's probably not going to be the case. Mindfreak's happy to play these long distance sightlines, especially to get the advantage. Nameless tried to capitalize. Unfortunately, not going to be the case in that situation either. Paint shells go out. Oh, he might get what he's bargained for. Oh, he got the shot, but it was not enough to kill Ferg. He lives with 33 HP. And now, Orgless is starting to lose the reins. They're losing control. Mindfreak's taking over. They've jumped onto the horse and they're taking off. What can Orgless do to keep up here with Mindfreak? That is the question that Orgless is asking themselves. What will be the options they can do to try and limit Mindfreak's capability to score points? They've now rotated Norson over to the A site, so he's going to be dealing with that A and a help from the sky. That's going to be a pain to try and get onto the site, because you're going to get flashed. As soon as the Cypher spots you out, you're just going to hit constantly with that flash. The drone is out. Pex is going to come on in.
Scout destroyed.
But he gets a little bit of information. He doesn't get the days. That's totally fine as the divide comes on out. Pex, he gets the flash, he peeks around the corner, but Cream doesn't need vision, he will find you anyway. Aram, he goes up with the showstopper, he shoots, but he does not score a Scroll, finds himself 3!
Down A.
And then Ferg comes in and cleans up the rest. Mindfreak,
Out of charges.
they're just starting to... They're moving. They've upgraded from a horse to a steam train, and they are chugging along. At this stage, it seems like Orgless cannot find a chink in that railroad. They can't derail Mindfreak from the unstoppable aggression that they're just putting on them at the moment. They're going to have to go for another semi-eco round here, which this could mean we might be going to map and series point Mindfreak here if something crazy doesn't happen, doesn't come out of Orgless. They're going to start following this drone on in. The drone's not going to clip the tripwire. It does actually find it. That's good. It's going to give them a little bit of utility and capability to move onto the site. The paint shells go at the back, clearing out the back of the site. But Norson, he's playing a very close, aggressive position here. Are they going to check this? No, they do not. They suspected him to have retreated, but he didn't. He's holding his own, and he's just going to kill all of them. Now Norson's on the hunt for his quad. But Ferg might also be going for it at the same time. But Norson pops out and he gets that fourth. And we have now progressed to the final map of potentially the series. This is map and series point for Mindfreak. This is for them to move into the semi-finals. This is for them to qualify into the open qualifiers. Sorry, the closed qualifiers. I'm an idiot. To qualify for the closed qualifiers to make their way in and score some much needed points. I believe I said at the start, Mindfreak have quite a lot of points associated to their name already, which should secure themselves a spot in the OCE championships, but you want to continue to push it. You want to play up against the best teams in the Oceanic region to not only improve, but to showcase your talent and to make sure that you do have the best shot, best chance at making your way into the championship tour. Peg's going to flash on out. He's going to catch Tox as he tries to rotate away. Unfortunately, get turned around. Ferg's going to be chasing in with the Seekers. Cream has gone in deep. He's got the support there with Aram. And he throws out the satchel. It didn't really do too much there, unfortunately. As Norson's going to pick up, and he gets the kill as they were trying to kill the recon darts. But there's still 4 members left of Mindfreak. They've got the advantage. They've got the skill. Nameless tries to equal it up. How much more can he do? He knows, he feels the presence of what's up there. But Ferg pops up from the sewers and gets himself another one. This leaves Cream all alone in hell. And now the last person left, Xenix, has to do it all alone. He tries to shoot the satchel, but that doesn't work, my friend. And that is game. That is map. And that is match points going towards Mindfreak. So congratulations to Mindfreak. They will be moving into your semi-finals and they will be taking out this very long night. So congratulations to Mindfreak and Orgless. Congratulations for reaching it this far. You did well. You played well. You beat Nebula. Nebula was one of the top teams in the OCE region. You were able to take them down. That definitely means that you have more to show us. So I look forward to seeing Orgless pick up in open qualifiers too, maybe even receive an org and not be so orgless. Who knows? But Mindfreak will be moving on and they will be playing against... Who will they be playing against? Actually, apparently there's no details, so I can't tell you who Orgless will be playing against. It'll either be Wildcard Gaming or Villain Esports and Direwolves, because it looks like their match may have been delayed and be played out either on Saturday, and then we'll have the matches on Sunday. Which, speaking of which, do remember to tune in, because Sunday is when we have the semi-finals. I believe it is 1 o'clock start. Let me quickly check that for all of you. We have a... Where is it? Yes, so on Sunday, it will be 1 PM Australian Eastern Time. That's what it says here. I'm not sure if that's the same as Australian Eastern Standard Time because I'm not really up to date with daylight savings. I'm in Queensland, so I don't care, but now I have to care. So it will be 1 PM Australian Eastern Time. Will be our semi-finals, and then our grand finals and the other matches for seeding purposes will take place at 3:30 p.m. So after all the matches have concluded for the first series of the day. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure having you all along. It's been a great evening of Valorant action across all the channels. I want to thank you, Digital Cast, for hosting me. I want to thank LPL Play for being able to let me commentate and bring the community action to you guys as a community caster. So, I've been D-Swell. I'll be back again on the weekend, so if you do want to follow me and the next match is coming up, make sure to hit me up. Also, make sure to hit up LPL_play on Twitter, as they do post all the games when they do go live, and all the casters that will be bringing you that action. That is your best place to stay up to date with all the Valorant Oceanic Tour information. With that said, you've all been fantastic. Thank you for joining me on this evening. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good one. It's always awkward when I change screens and I can never get the right button. Goodbye, guys.